musicians, healers, men and women of science and conscience, fellow Iranian Americans, good evening. You have gratified me with your invitation tonight to be amongst you. We will get into the IT section a little later, but please indulge me a little. I would like to take this opportunity to talk about a subject that is very relative to this gathering tonight. To discover the truth about oneself existence is the underlying rationale for all other exploration of knowledge. Since time immemorial, man has always attempted to create an understandable prism with which to observe and explain the world around him. To comprehend one's place in the greater glimpse of events is to gain a glimpse into the mind's eye of God. This search is what drives the machinery of human intelligence, science, philosophy, the arts, or any other aspect of a human cognitive toolbox. The topic of a recent conversation left me searching for an explanation into my own existence. A good American friend asked me a rather simple question, which I was not able to reply quickly. Why, he asked, we call ourselves Iranian Americans, as opposed to Iranians or Americans or American Iranians? Do we not consider ourselves the true Americans, and do we not owe our country the complete and undivided allegiance she deserves? What is the rationale for putting Iranian before American when we introduce ourselves? Are we Americans a second choice? Or being an Iranian is no longer a second option? Sooner or later, mankind will look beyond the walls that disconnect us. Walls of religion, race, ethnicity, and political discourse seem trivial if you see our planet for what it is, and ourselves as what we really are. We constitute a very minute bio-layer of covering the surface of a ball of rock, spinning around and around. That's what we are. The ball is home to all of us, this ball. Humans have many more similarities than differences. To be Iranian or American should not matter, just as it shouldn't make a difference to be Jewish, Muslim, Christian, or anything else. Unfortunately, in our current world, it does matter, to the point that it is threatening the existence of our delicate home, this thin biolayer. Iran and America, where I come from and who I am, where we come from and who we have become, are today thought of as irreconcilable forces of history destined for a cataclysmic showdown. The two countries are heading for eventual war. But why does this have to be? And can it be prevented? If so, then what role, if any, we will play, Iranian Americans, in this intervention? This brings me back to my good friend's question, which is amongst us tonight. Why Iranian American? We call ourselves Iranian American not as a separation or distinction from other Americans, but as an introduction of who we are. It's not an easy thing being Iranian American. Our lives would be much simpler and more tranquil as solely one or the other, but yet here we are. We exist, and in large numbers. The last national census grossly has underestimated our populace. Our experience with the Radio Iran, KIRN, and surveys in conjunction with UCLA, puts the number of Iranian American from San Diego to Santa Barbara something between 700,000 to 1 million. According to our surveys again, this population is highly educated, affluent, influential, and scores higher than national and local average in all categories pertaining to standards of living and spending. We occupy the highest offices of corporate and political power, and there is a bright future for all of us in this blessed land. Our story seems picture perfect, except for one non-trivial fact. Iran and America are the only two nations on earth headed for a possible nuclear catastrophe, which will undoubtedly alter life in this thin biolayer as we know it. I don't need to explain the effects of a multiple strategic nuclear bunker-busting attacks on a deeply buried bunkers thousands of kilometers under the ground to a room full of physicians and doctors. We, my friends, are at the eye of the storm, whether we choose it or not. I have no doubt that our community will prove its worth as Americans. If America was under threat, we would be the fiercest soldier at war. But why not the warriors of peace while the situation still permits? You are probably asking yourself, what does he want? I just was planning to have dinner and listen to somebody talk about websites. And this guy wants me to save the world. Well, my friends, that's exactly what I'm asking you. You represent our modern intelligentsia, our best, our brightest. What? You have taken an oath to protect human life. What better way to save a life than to prevent a foreseeable war? We need leaders such as yourself to represent us, Iranian Americans. We need and deserve serious leaders to represent us at this juncture of time. Our people and our culture are deeper and more complex than just entertainers and showmen and third-rated actors. Our long and prestigious lineage cannot be summed up by one religion or one political orientation. We need doctors, teachers, engineers, lawyers, professors and businessmen of every Iranian lineage and religion to step up and represent us. It's up to you individually to come together as one group, a network of successful, resourceful Americans of Iranian ancestry, coming together to empower our people here at home and effect positive change in Iran. Using your networks and contacts, who do people trust more than doctors? You can create a political movement of Iranian Americans and choose from our talented community quality leaders to represent us. Fresh blood, if you will. I'm not putting the entire weight on you, on this endeavor. But imagine if the lawyers group, engineers group, accountants group, the Rotary Club, in university groups and different ethnic and religious groups comprising of the Iranian community united just for one cause, to ensure the safekeeping, survival, and future of this thin biolayer and all of her habitats. Imagine it. I wonder if you can. I hope you can.